Come on. All right. Now let's see. Let's see if Susan gives us any notifications at all. Figure out what's how we're gonna go about doing this. I need to get you guys' input on a lot of different things. So let's wait and see if we get notifications first. See which one. Hey, lonely Hikikomori. Barry's his hair, Kodaiko and Zaya. Very good, very good. I got some stuff I gotta mess with here, guys. Okay, so that's the other camera. That's the laptop camera. So we are gonna be able to have two cameras shooting when we do this. Hold on, let me pull this up. Got a notification right after you join. Do I like puppies? Yeah, considering there's 3 asshole dogs running around here right now. Doing good, Spagio. Okay, first question, guys. How is my audio? Sound good? Bad? It is going to be more hollow, but for the 24-hour stream, I need to be able to get audio in from the entire room, so it's going to be a little hollow. But how does it sound? It's good? Good? Okay. Let me play anything here on my computer and just tell me how that audio sounds. So then when we, the day we're streaming, because we'll probably play games online and stuff too, you know, as to pass the time when I'm not kicking the shit out of the heavy bag. I'll just play my last reaction video, and if you would, guys, just let me know how the audio sounds to you. Just gonna go further into it. Alright, and then I don't even have my headphones on. I just want to see how your audio is. Hey, Andrew, been away for a while. Haven't caught a stream in a bit. 24-hour stream. You say, yeah, oh, I should give you guys all the details on that, huh? It's going to be, I'm doing a stream to benefit my stepdaughter, to try and raise money for a wheelchair van for her. And it's going to start on Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Well, maybe somebody won't be able to find your...
Mistress says, can I come over there and slap you to keep you awake? Oh, Spaz Kid already got in line for that. It's a little low? No, I can change it. That's what I want to know, Barry's, how it sounds to you guys. Because that's what I'm doing right now is I'm going to make changes.
Perfect.
So, everybody agree with Barry's? Is the audio that's playing in the background, is that a little low? Very low? Okay, good.
Girl fight.
Alright, let me mess with it and see. Okay, guys. I know we're on a little delay.
Chicks are having
Try that. Tell me how that sounds. I can still go up more if need be. Now, of course, my audio... Well, this is the setting will be in when I'm using...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, when I'm using stuff off the computer. Now, I'm going to get up in a little bit and move over there because that's... Obviously, I'll be hitting the bag from over there. That's better? Okay, thanks, Lude. Okay, so that setting is right because I'm not changing any of these settings before Tuesday. So we know we got those settings correct. It's weird for me having the camera over here. That we can change too. In that 24 hours, I've got this set up as best I can to where the camera here on that camera is my webcam on the laptop. That is static. This one here, I can move around wherever I want. Yeah, well, within its range. But I can put it to either side of the computer and everything to give you guys better angles. Let me give you guys the details on all that. I forgot to have that even called up. Oh, here. Actually, let's do it this way. I'll give you guys the
Jesus Christ.
Direct link to the upcoming stream. And
I like that one. Oh, sorry, guys.
In that description, you can see where the
Grand Theft Auto
GoFundMe page is. And again,
that was a true love story.
Not even now, but during the stream, if you guys would just promote that as much as you can, the stream itself, the GoFundMe, whatever you want. But here's the link. So you, rather than me explain it all again, it's easier to just give you guys the link and let you guys check it out for yourselves.
And his only overhead is a clothes hanger.
Okay, that's the link.
Why not? Wait, but this one's got no
You know what it is, Lachlan? The doorway is cracked because and it'll get creepy when we're going overnight and everything like that. But the doorway, we have that crack in the doorway. Oh, we got that audio set. We can take that off. That crack is in the doorway only because, as you can see, hold on, let me get this called up here, right? As you can see, we keep our winter jackets on a hanger on the back of this door, because this door is just my little, our little workout room. And so that hanger hooks over the door and doesn't allow it to close all the way. Am I going to 69 Shao Tucker on stream? I rather than 69 them, I'd like to deep six them. Well, again, Scar already took care of that once. Now, I know lighting in here is not good. How bad is it on me right now? Is that usable? Should I import some more lights? Because I can bring in lights, no big deal. As a matter of fact, I can put a light tree right behind. I might put a light tree right behind this camera. Gonna give you guys some really good news in 6 days. Cool, Spaz deal. I'll be waiting. No Homer. Don't. Susan censored that. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Wolverine. Lighting is okay? Okay, good. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'll give you guys a quick preview of what we'll be doing on Tuesday night and all day Wednesday. I'm going to go over and hit Bob. I want to do it so you guys can see the shot that we're going to have, because that's going to be off the laptop camera, and it'll give you an idea what I'll be going through, because to hit the bag at an average of 10 times a minute for 24 hours, that's 14,400 punches. Well, I have no idea if my body will allow me to do it or not. I'm going to try. Super chat didn't go through on my end. Next post. Okay, Wolverine. Light is good, but the reflection from your head is going to blind me. That's okay. Well, that's because that light is right overhead. I may do that anyway. I might bring down a light tree and put it right behind this camera, the one I'm pointing to right there, and bounce it off the ceiling. I think that will take some of that off. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Philip. That's what I'll do. Before we actually stream, I'm going to bring a light tree down, put it there. I'm not as worried about that part of the room. As a matter of fact, especially on the overnight, it'll be kind of cool if that part of the room is darker. It's ultimately popular. I get my phone on my pocket if I'm going to hit this bag. It did go through. Oh, okay. Everything did go through. Wasn't updating on your end. Okay. No problem, Wolverine. All right, guys. Let me get out my gloves here. We're gonna switch over to the other camera. Oh, hold on. I don't want to miss this. Hey, Ed. Hey, Curtis. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you and to all you guys. 24-hour stream. Good luck. Grab yourself a Monster Energy drink. Here's the details on it again. I'll post it again because I know Susan just now allows some people to get in and hopefully sends out some notifications. Joshua says, love your reactions and how you can never contain yourself during Try Not to Laugh. Oh, yeah, Joshua. That for me. I told the gang here since day one that the Try Not to Laugh, there's not even any sense in me attempting it, because I laugh easier than anybody I've ever known. But I enjoy laughing, so I like doing the challenges, but yeah, it's never going to happen. I just can't help it. You got to go, Wolverine? Okay, pal. Berries, while we're here, happy 4th of July. Please don't blow off your fingers or do more content, but you need them for the stream. Got the reminder tick for the stream? Well, thanks, Bill. Well, hold on, guys. Let me see what you think of this. Let's go to the other camera. I do like the idea that we'll be able to have two. Now, when I'm out of the way, is the chair? Chair's in the way. So when I go to hit the bag, we'll just move the chair over there, because it'll be Spaz's chair when I actually do it. I've got to get them out of the door here. All right. Okay, so looks like you guys are able to see it okay from there. All right, so what would that be? Let's see. What I'll do right now, I'll hit the bag 100 times. Because if I'm not mistaken, if my math is okay, I'm going to have to hit it, this camera now, 100 times, 144 times in the 24-hour period to get to 14,400. And I can't put more than 1 hour at a time in the bank. So in other words, like at midnight, the most I can do is 600 until 1 a.m. That way, when I'm completely exhausted, coming to the end of this, I'm still going to have to be swinging. Okay, you guys ready? Yeah, time to strap on the old gloves. I can't use my heavy gloves. I'll never make it with 16 ounces on, so it's just going to have to be the training gloves. But I'll hit 100 now to give you guys an idea. As soon as Charlie says for the chair. Well, thanks, Charlie. I'll bring Spaz's shirt down for that because that's way more comfortable. The one that Spaz kid my wife got me for Father's Day. All right, here we go. Here's 100. Let's see. All right. Okay. I'm not going to be able to count them out loud for you guys because I'm going to need all the wind I can get, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. So you can count along. I'll be counting them in my head. That's a scary place. Here we go. Alright, so there's 100. Did that gas me? Yes. Will I be able to do it 143 more times in 24 hours? Don't know. Holy crap. That's going to be a long night. A long, long night. But, visually, you guys were able to see that okay? Should have got new gloves. This one sticks on my thumb. Terrible. Put these up here. Actually, put these right here. All right, what do you guys think? Well, Varun, he says you do more body shots than hooks, jabs, or straights. That's going to obviously vary throughout the night. But you have to remember, because my shoulders are complete garbage, the jabs, you would think, would be the easiest ones to do. Take up the least amount of endurance, but they're the ones that beat up the shoulder the most. So it's going to suck. Curtis Goes Ultra Instinct, Brian says. Sorry, it's not much, but I gotta do my part. Good job. Well, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. But the visuals, you guys could see it okay over there and everything. I should have moved the camera for the chat show. I probably will. I'll probably end up putting it over here. We can do that right now, actually. Let me see. Just see if that works better for you guys. So let me make sure we don't rip the cord out. Okay. See how this looks over here, if this is better. All right, move this over here a little more. I don't know, is that better, guys? So at least now when I'm reading the chat, I'm looking more in your direction. Oh, and we will be putting up on the wall over here. My wife's setting up for me now. Right behind Bob, up on that wall, if there's enough room. If not, I'll go on this one. a big whiteboard. On that whiteboard, we will have a box for each of the 24 hours outlined on there. Every time I do 100, like, again, say it's the midnight hour, the first 100 I do, we'll put a slash. Every time you get to 6, I've completed it for that hour. Joshua says, and that's how I got this black eye. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I'll come down now. I'll put a light tree right over here. That'll give us a little more illumination. Everything's good? That's better? Okay, yeah, I'll keep this over here. I see the camera's also tipped, but I can take care of that before the stream. The other thing to think of, I won't need them right now, but for any of you guys that think you can make it to the stream, think of any fun, easily accessible browser games or anything, because we're going to need stuff to kill the time. Spaz Kids already got one for us that sounded fun. Forgot the name of it. I'll get it from them. But anything you can think of that would be good time killers. Remember, it can't be stuff like Happy Wheels, because again, we're doing a fundraiser. You know, we're going to have a lot of normal people in here, not us. I think like something like Happy Wheels would absolutely destroy their brains. Well, let me turn this so I can come a little closer with this. There we go. We're getting there. We'll figure all this out. Turn this into me a little more. Yeah, that's good. Ed says, always wanted to get a Century Bob XL stand when I used to kickbox. I got a Century bag stand instead, same price, I regret it. You can do more about, a lot more. And you know what? It was the first one for me, Ed. I had gotten this stand-up, these stand-up bags, and they always broke. Bob is so substantial, you can wail on him. Because I throw kicks in, you know, not just the punches and everything, and Bob just takes it like a champ. So yeah, that was one of the best investments I ever made. Special said, Curtis, you forgot to do the Logan Paul call out. I wish I was a little younger because I would like to, but I just don't have the lungs for it at my age. Let's see what normal people do, Philip says. Those goddamn normies, Philip. I didn't think of that, Code. Code says if you survive the stream, you'll probably have the power of Saitama. It's funny now, I already feel that in my shoulder significantly. Just 100. So basically, it's going to be a race to see if my body will hold up, just because of all the injuries. If my body will hold up long enough to get it done. That's what it's going to be. But this will be fun. Now, see, we've got everything set here. This will be perfect for playing games or something while we're killing time when I'm not hitting the bag. I have no idea how I'm going to stay awake for 24 hours, Leslie. No clue. That is actually, believe it or not, as much as the pounding on the bag is going to kick the shit out of me, that's probably my only chance for staying awake. Because it does keep your adrenaline pumping. Like right now, I was feeling tired today. I got up real early today. I did a lot for the Goosh and the channel, and my eyes are usually tired by this time of day just because all the, looking at the screen and everything. So I was tired starting this stream, and now I picked right back up just from that adrenaline rush. Cold Cut says, remember, if you bite the dust, I claim your porn stash. I saw that. You did. You called dibs, and we all know that dibs rule. Philip says 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Now, see, all of those I could do except the 10-kilometer run. Well, I could, but I'd die. And the push-ups I have to do in sections, I could do them, but nothing aggravates the shoulders more than push-ups. I've got my dumbbells sitting over here. My bench presses don't, well, with bench presses you can work around an injury. Nothing annihilates the shoulders like push-ups. And then, of course, hitting the bag is right behind it. No, Josh, no way to improve them. It's just from damage from all the years, Josh. The thing is, I could get surgery on it. We know that those rotator cuff surgeries, and plus I have more extensive damage beyond that, aren't always successful. And at my age, I'm very fortunate. The wrestling required it. I have a high tolerance for pain. The pain doesn't bother me enough to go get it. So I just deal with it. My shoulders aren't as strong as they used to be, that's all. Yeah, that's gonna be a big thing, Mr. Papa Veraccia, is especially for me because I have a problem with dehydration. I only discovered that because one time I thought I was dying. Seriously, it's the only time in my life I thought I was actually having a heart attack and dying. Ended up going to the hospital, and I hate going to the hospital. I was dehydrated. Be careful, like Bob has a second form of his own. Well, I'll show you guys. If you guys are interested, now a lot of you know that over at the Goosh, and a lot of you are Gooshers, we watched Hajime no Ippo together. Now, of course, Ippo has the Dempsey roll. I can show you guys, I had a go-to move in boxing that was extremely successful for me. I can't do it as effectively, obviously, as I could 40 years ago, but I can still do it well enough to show you. It really, and I used to be able to do it with both arms, and I could show it to you with both, but I'm trying to save the left so I can just show it to you with the right. I'm trying to hold off on the left as much as I can until we start Tuesday. You can do anything for the stream, right? Mr. Croissant says, let's see you do your wrestling entrance. We need a preview for the Curtis versus Susan main event at Money in the Bank. Now, my wrestling entrance was in the indie, so we used copyrighted music. Susan would knock it down in a hurry. What am I going to be drinking? Probably mostly water. I will probably get, I'm not a big fan of the energy drinks, but I'll probably get some 5-hour energy or something like that and only take it or drink it if I absolutely need to. Spezio says, I bet Nagato would like your high tolerance for pain. Yeah, I'm sure he'd experiment with that. I'm sure he would. Here, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Plus, this is good. It gives me more to work with here. Let me go back to this camera again. We'll grab the gloves. And this, let me know too, guys, if you chair out of the shot. If the audio is still good enough when I'm over here. But for me, the one thing I was able to develop, I never had, as a fighter, I was a pounder. It was all about brute force. Never had a lot of speed. It was adequate. Decent enough jab, but I was short because I fought as heavyweight, so it didn't come into effect all that much. The one thing I developed over the years was I could repeat hooks. And I could go body, head, body, whatever I wanted, quickly without losing much of any impact. And especially when fighters, you're fighting guys who are, it was amateurs, so you're fighting guys who aren't overly experienced. What would happen is, and again, I used to be able to do it with both. Now I'm just going to show you with the right. When you would go body, because I was always trying to get people against the ropes anyway, or into the corner. And if you go body, as soon as you take that shot to the body, think about your natural instinct is to curl into it. So they get hit to the body, they lean to that side, so if you could go body, head quick, they were almost always wide open to get nailed in the face. Worked hundreds of times. That is something that to this day, I can't do it like I used to, but I can still do as much as my age will let me. And that was so effective. Again, everybody would duck into it. I'll do it a little on my left. Yeah, I can't, I gotta save that left. But yeah, this, that came in handy a lot. Won me a lot. The big key was being able to deliver them quick and not lose too much of the impact, too much of the power. But that was my personal Dempsey roll. That was my move. Yeah, I'll tell you guys now, my left shoulder, just from doing that, is fucking killing me. Philip says that is some Jake LaMotta shit. Barry's, can we get a Gatorade cooler to dump over your head after the stream's completed? I'll just drop to the floor. Oh, sorry guys, let me get the cameras right here. I'll just drop after that. Audio is good from across the room. Thank you, Rover. That's what I was wondering. All right, we should be pretty well set. Yeah, I've got the Blue Yeti mic, and I've got it set to pick up audio from all around. Now, the other big factor is it's supposed to be 89 fucking degrees here in upstate New York on Tuesday. It's going to be death in here. I can put in an air conditioner. I have a small one upstairs. I may have to. In this window, over, I don't think either of the cameras will pick it up. In that window over there, I don't think either camera sees it. No. I don't, yeah, if I put it over in that one, I don't think it'll be too bad, too distracting for you guys. I might have to do that. Oh, shit. Here we go. Digital Gold says, as an amateur boxer, I now want to box you back in your heyday. Yeah, I'm telling you, Gold, no lie. I was all about power. Again, my speed was all right, but I wasn't going to wow anybody with speed. Foot speed was average at best. My hand speed was good, like you saw, in tight. The best thing I could say about my jab was before the shoulder injury. I can still do it now. I just can't do it as stiffly as I used to. I can throw as many jabs in a row as I want without losing steam on them. That was just one of the things. Everybody's got in any sport. You got the things that come to you naturally. And being able to double and triple up punches came to me naturally. It came easy. So the only good thing about my jab was it was not a single. If I threw a jab, it was usually boom, 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 boom. It was a bunch of them right in a row. Had to be, because I was too short. Ty, you getting the hundreds every day? Oh, where are you? Like Southwest or something? But here it's supposed to be humid too. Well, normally I wouldn't mind, but I'm going to be trying to do this all night and all day. Shut up. And then we'll, I got to make a little, I gotta make a still photo or something to have on board for when I have to take poop breaks or something. I'll probably just take a picture of myself on the toilet or something just so you guys will know what's going on. Oh, sure, Code. He says, have you knocked somebody out using those combos? Sure, because that was my thing. I had to. My record when fights went to a decision was not that great, but I knocked a lot of people out. And even more than knocked them out, you have to remember, again, it was in the, it's when I lived in California. It was called the CalPAL, the California Police Athletic League, the amateur boxing group. You got to remember, a lot of the kids, guys, whatever, were new to it and had never really been stuck before. So a lot of times I would win my fights because that's the first time they'd ever gotten hit really hard. And, it's survival instinct. They would just not know exactly what to do. So that would win me fights. Can Dinosaur Dog make a short appearance? Oh, I'm sure she will during the 24-hour stream, Ed. I'm sure she'll be in here. That'll be lovely for newcomers to arrive to. Oh, that's too bad, Going Nowhere. I'm sorry to hear that. Going Nowhere says I had to put my dog down yesterday. She was really sick and really old. I'm so sad. That's the toughest part about having pets, is the fact that we outlive them. That's difficult. It's very similar. It was basically, Philip, it was like a lead-in to the Golden Gloves. Put it this way, most of, at least in that day, most of the guys in California that went to the Golden Gloves had fought in CalPAL. CalPAL was like, again, it was a pretty big operation. It wasn't local. And that's where you went to get your feet wet before you entered the Golden Gloves. So it was, if that answers your question. Yeah. Yep. Obi-Kobe, that true. If you've never been hit hard, it's a shocker once it finally happens, or like that. Yeah. And that was, in fairness, I'm not trying to be overly modest or anything. It's just a fact. That's how I won a lot of the fights, is they'd just never been hit that hard. And so, again, I could throw those, especially the rights, really hard. And if both of those shots would land, if you'd hit somebody body then head, if you got them both in, that was it stung. I could hit hard. Yeah, unless you got turtles or tortoises, right, Big Green? That's almost preferable. We were talking about that the other day, how Sylvester Stallone still has Cuff and Link from the Rocky days. That's just amazing when you think about it. Yeah, it was. I never went to Golden Gloves, Philip. Actually, I I would have liked to have tried. My record wasn't that great. I certainly wasn't going to win Golden Gloves in California, but it would have been fun to go to the tournaments. But it was as I achieved a certain level and was getting up to where I could think about it is when I moved. And I moved at that point from California to Oregon, hated Oregon, and then moved back to New Mexico where I lived before. And then when I was in New Mexico was when I was finally able to get into wrestling. And that kind of ended the boxing competitively. Yep. Sticky Sauce says you're literally are fighting a deep instinct to run or give up when hit hard. Right. Exactly. And it's like anything else, just takes getting used to. And it's just like when I tell wrestling stories and stuff, and, you know, about getting bashed with a chair, like I told you, with the young guy who'd never done one before, and it opened my head up and stuff. The not freaking out because I was bleeding profusely, it's not a tough guy thing. I almost hesitate when I tell the stories like, oh, it was bad. It's not a tough guy thing. It's like anything else in life. It happened to me before. First time it happened, I freaked the fuck out. I couldn't show it because I was in front of a crowd, but I was freaked out. But once anything like that, once it happens to you a long time, you can immediately take stock of the situation. Like with that one I'm talking about, it gashed the back of my head open. It's like, yeah, I know what's going on. I'm bleeding really, really bad because some skin that's over nothing but bone is split open. Nothing's going to happen to me. I ain't going to die. I'm going to go to the back and they'll start trying to get the blood stopped. But, you know, if it's never happened to you before, and you're laying there like I was on the mat and you just see the blood actually pooling up onto you, sure, it'd freak you out. But I'd seen it. Rob says, any specific thoughts rage those punches even further to go plus ultra? Protecting family instinct helps me. Oh, yeah. For me, I think everybody's different with that, Rob. For me, yes. If I was pissed off or motivated, yes, that was a great motivator for me. Typically, I love boxing when I was doing it. You usually didn't even know your opponents. So there was no rage for the most part until you got somebody that was a real asshole. And that worked in my favor. I liked being mad at them, but it didn't happen that often because most of the kids were there, you know. Again, we're all young, just learning the sport. Everybody just wanted to compete. Every once in a while, you get an obnoxious douchebag, way more often in the gym than you did in actual fights. And then, yes, that seemed to give you that little plus ultra to really bash somebody's face in. But Croissant says, Curtis, at your age, you're moving faster than some of my friends who box or even just regular fights. Remember a friend of mine getting injured for practicing without gloves? Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Again, it's only in limited areas. If I can fight you in a phone booth, I got a chance. Outside of that, I get picked apart. Lick says, ooh, tech support? Philip says I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum. Which, let's face it, Charlie, is what I am. Yeah. That's legendary. Legendary, Philip. Hey, and Ty says, don't think I'll be working that day. Sliced my hand and got stitches. Ow, shit. So I got to see the doc that day. But that's it, so I'll see most of the stream. Well, I'm glad you'll be able to see the stream. Not glad you had to cut your flesh open to do it. But I'm glad you'll be able to be with us, Ty. Everyday Toker says, I was always bulging with what could be muscle, so I was never a target in fights. I bullied bullies, so am I a bully? I don't know, because I used to try and do that same thing. I don't know. Does that make us bullies? I don't know. I hate bullies. I told you guys that when I was really young, I got bullied a lot, and that's probably why I hate bullies. It's just that, and it was just like a light switch turned, and I don't know why. I just all of a sudden decided, fuck it, I'm not getting bullied anymore. I'll fight. I would rather fight and get beat up than I would be bullied, and that was the change for me. And then once I started doing that, I discovered I liked fighting, so that just motivated you more. It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And especially when you took out a couple of the bullies. So, yeah, I used to get bullied. And again, it wasn't a thought process. I didn't have to convince myself of it. Just one day I decided, okay, no more. I'm fucking fighting anybody. Anybody that tries to take advantage of me, I'm fighting them. Rob says, side note, super excited for Inuyasha on the Goosh. Oh, that's not, don't apologize at all. That was really good. That first episode, that was really fun. I think, you know, what Charlie did there was really smart, because with now having seen an episode of it at the Goosh, I think it's got a real good chance at the next poll. Nominations and polls to get put in. Same as what happened with Reincarnated as a Slime. I think it's got a real good chance now. It really, you know, again, flip that switch for a lot of people. Like, hey, yeah, Inuyasha. So, yeah, I think it's got a real good chance. Mr. Croissant says, I'd love to learn boxing. Those skills would be very useful at a sport event in Seattle. Now I can ask them about their pro basketball team. This is one time at band camp, Toker says. Lord Coldcut says, I never got bullied because I was a quiet kid and people either thought I was cool or liable to shoot up the school. I got into fights once out my mouth as an adult. Like I said, when I was little and you're the little fat kid, of course you get bullied. And then, again, I couldn't tell you what it was. I just decided one day, nah, I would rather fight. I would rather lose the fight than get bullied. Gibble says, I really like your content, my dude. Now I have a question. What was your favorite activity when you were a kid? Oh, baseball. When I was little, baseball. And baseball and wrestling were my big passions. Baseball was first because, you could, obviously it was more accessible. But when I was a little kid, I even got my mom to get some extra, because we live way out in the country, some extra clothesline and found a bunch of posts, logs I could, we live way out on a farm with tons of acreage. We rented it from, we never had any money. Excuse me, but we rented this big ass broken down farm. And I built myself my own ring and everything. Everything, it was pretty welfare. John says, if you only bully bullies, then you're an equalizer, in my opinion. Well, that's why I always looked at it, John. That's why I always looked at it. And you know what always got me? I've always said this. The thing that's really pathetic about bullies and about somebody picking fights with people who don't want to fight is, you're a pussy, because I've lived a long time. I've lived in a lot of different areas of the country. I've been around a lot of different people. The one thing I can guarantee is every place I've been in my life, if you want to get in a fight, there's somebody that's willing to fight you. There's always somebody that's like-minded as you are and thinks a fight would be a good idea. So if you're picking on people who don't want to, it's because you're a goddamn pussy and you're afraid to fight that guy that does want to fight. That's what really annoys me about bullies. Ed says, if you bully bullies, you have that Batman and Punisher mentality to protect the sheep from bullies. Yeah, well, one time it happened. Ed, it was a true. It actually happened. I can tell you the story real quick. I'll try and make it the abridged version. I still remember there's a kid in our school named Victor Chichester. He was the tough guy. And him and I had never gone around, but we kept our distance from each other. And there was another kid in the school. His name was, what's his first name? His last name was Pierce, so we called him Hawkeye because Hawkeye Pierce was MASH. Keith Pierce. Keith Pierce? I think it was, yeah. So one day I'm sitting, we had our study halls in the cafeteria. So I'm sitting in the cafeteria at study hall and just sitting by myself. None of my friends were in that one. And I only had a small circle of friends. And all of a sudden, Pierce, who I'd talk to, say hi to him in the hallway and stuff, didn't really know him. He comes up and sits on the other side of the table from me, and he's like all nervous and stuff. And he was a class clown, Pierce. Just a fun-loving, goofy kid. Never bothered anybody. And so I see he's sitting there and he's like all fidgety and stuff. He goes, "You care if I sit here?" I said, "No, sit there." I said, "I don't care." And so I was just looking at my magazine. I wasn't doing homework, I guarantee you. I was looking at a magazine or something. And I could tell he wanted to talk. He goes, "Oh man, I'm in trouble." I said, "Why? What's going on?" He goes, "Well, Victor's going to kick my ass." I said, "Why?" I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "I didn't do nothing." He says, Victor, I'm just on the radar," he says. I'm like, I'm getting fucking tired of Victor anyway. So I didn't say much about it. We left this stuff. I'll never forget. We leave the cafeteria to go to the next class. And on our path, there was a set of stairs that go up, and there was an alcove underneath the stairs. Sure enough, we come by. It looked like just something from a bad movie. Victor and his little, fat toady Steve, this kid who followed him around and sucked his ass for him all the time. He was a big fat kid, would suck Victor's ass. They step out and they get in Pierce. They aren't paying attention to me. They get in Pierce's path and just start talking shit to him and stuff and trying to make up something, a reason as to why they wanted to fuck up Pierce. So I was like, oh, fuck. And so they're going at him, and Pierce is holding his head down. I said, "Victor," I said, "leave him alone, man." I said, "He didn't do anything to you." And Victor looks at me and he's like, "What business is this of yours?" or whatever. I don't remember what he said exactly. I said, "Dude, just fucking calm down. Leave him alone. I say he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to be a part of this. Leave him the fuck alone. And now I was getting mad. At first I didn't want to actually fight, but now I'm mad. So Victor and his little toady said something. I do remember calling his little toady a bitch. I said, you better shut your mouth, you fucking bitch, because I didn't like Steve at all. And so now they decided, okay, we got to go. I'm like, all right, so whatever. Sure enough, the next day we go out for phys ed. There's Victor and Steve waiting for me right as we go out. I'm like, okay, this is it. So Steve takes a step towards me, and I've always told you guys, it's a street fight. Once I know what's going to happen, I ain't waiting to become a victim. So Steve came up, and I was going to lay a leg kick into him, but he was wide open. So I kicked him right in his big fat stomach. So I kicked him. Oh shit! What the hell's going on here? Oh, there we go. I got to turn that off. Glad we saw that. My monitor went off. I kicked him in the stomach, and after I kicked him, I'm ready for the fight. He laid on the ground like he was a bitch, like a little bitch. And he's like crying because he got kicked in the stomach. He's going, I can't breathe. I'm like, oh my God, what a fucking bitch. And right as I did that, here come Victor. And him and I started hooking it up, and it didn't go well for me. I lost that first round. It was a good fight. We went back and forth, but he definitely ended up on top. He got mount position on me, and I was having trouble getting him off. And our phys ed teacher, Tim Snyder, was watching, and I loved the man. And him and I were always at each other, always busting each other's balls. It was back in the day when you could do that with a teacher, and nobody thought that. Nobody filed a complaint. I mean, we enjoyed each other. He saw I was losing, so he didn't break it up right away. He came in later and broke it up. But that was the start. But Pierce didn't get picked on anymore. And Victor and I never had another major fight. I was ready to go. I told him that as they were pulling us apart. I said, come on, same time, same channel. Let's do it again. And Victor wasn't a puss, in fairness to him. But he didn't want to fight again. It's like, okay, early on it could have gone either way. He got the first really good shot in that knocked me a little bit loopy, and that's what gave him the edge. Could have gone the other way. I think that was close enough for him. But that was, excuse me, I'll never forget that. And Pierce and I became really good friends. Boys can dish out, but some of them really can take it back. Yeah, Lachlan. Well, like I say, Victor at least was a legit tough guy. That Steve was a piece of shit. One kick to the stomach. It wasn't even, I didn't even get him that square. It was uneven ground. I still remember that. I didn't even get him that square. And I was waiting for after the kick to follow up, and he's laying on the ground like, what a bitch. Mr. Croissant says, I got into a fight one time at the mall. You could say I started, but who wouldn't punch an asshole who was making fun of throwing trash at a war vet? I lost because I got jumped. Wussies. Yeah, well, that's happened to me on a number of occasions. Yeah, the numbers aren't quite what you think they are in a fight. Yeah, well, I've told you guys those stories. That's happened to me a number of times. Lord Coldcut says, you know what? You can't box a snake. It's rattlesnake season where I live, and those feisty bitches want to play. Yeah, I'm not fighting them either. Coldcut, I'm with you. Fuck that. I'm gonna hold on a second, guys. This is setting up for our 24-hour stream, so we got a lot of newer people in here. This is the link to the 24-hour stream if you want to check it out, if you want to see exactly what the stream's about, and set a reminder or anything. Let's see. That one says, nice content, un Hajib al-Asar? Well, thank you, I appreciate that. Ice Wallow says, I once broke someone's arm after they tried to steal my cheddar cheese. I can guarantee you that's never happened for me because they could have it. You guys know me and cheese. Fuck that. I wouldn't have cheddar cheese to begin with for them to steal, but if I did, they can fucking have it. Oh, sure, I'll watch some of the Olympics. YOLO Dick Swagger. Yeah, it's always fun to watch the Olympics. There's obviously, like everybody else, there's certain events I like more than others. I really want to watch the girls' gymnastics because, what's her name? Our legend there, little girl. Well, they're all little girls. Simone Biles. I really like watching her compete. Oh, and Honest Wade, he says, how long have you been friends with Pierce? Can you remember? I haven't heard from him in years, pal. When I left Coleskill, I moved again. That was when I moved to California. We lost contact, unfortunately. I never tried to look him up. I should, huh? I should. I don't know if he stayed in that same area or not, though, but that would have been... When I moved, I was 16 or 17, so you're talking 43 years ago. My favorite Star Wars movie? I only really really watched the first three, not necessarily 1 through 3, the first 3 that came out. That's when I was into it. The others I just caught here and there. I would actually like to catch up on that series and understand it all. Of those 3, I was always a big nerd for the first one. I mean, they were all great. I enjoyed all 3 of them. But the first one was probably my favorite. I don't know what happened to Victor either, Fluffy. I saw, it's funny you say that. I saw something once on Facebook. I saw a Victor Chichester running for an office. It was like a transportation department of highway or something. I don't know if that was him or not, but I wonder if it might be. But as officially, I don't know what happened to him. I'm assuming that might have been him because this was down in Schoharie County. So that I'm thinking maybe that was him. I saw something on Facebook, you know, Victor Chichester for Highway Superintendent or whatever the job was. What's my descent? Behemoth, a little bit of everything. We are a Heinz 57 variety. We learned more about it actually when Spazkid was a senior in high school. They had to trace their ancestry, and it wasn't any big real surprises. A lot of Celtic region. Actually a little Native American. We knew that was there. What else did he find? Found, like I said, British, Irish, Scottish. Found Native American. There was a lot in there. Found some Spanish. But there was tons. We always said we're a Heinz 57 varieties. Was my favorite thing to do on Earth? I don't know. And honestly, it depends. Day to day, doing what I do. I love this. I love doing this. Outside of that, probably watching Notre Dame football or visiting Disney World would be my favorites. You sure doing this for 24 hours is a good idea? No, I am not. But if there's any chance at all that it will help my daughter, then I'm in 100%. Air Day Toker says, I'm going to take my boat down the lake. Oh, cool. I might check in later, guys. I got to stop procrastinating. Peace and love to y'all. Well, thanks for being here while you could, Toker. The 24-hour stream will take off on Tuesday, 6 p.m. my time. I'm Eastern U.S. for any of you wondering. Pepe Le Pew's been canceled for a while now. Sticky Sauce says, yeah. It's a cartoon, folks. It's a cartoon. Jesus Christ. CDV says, what is your 27th favorite One Piece character? Let's see, I have that right off the tip of my tongue. Number 20. No. Lick says, I was one of the bullies in primary school. I was friends with all the cool kids, so we would bully the Spurgs. Then in secondary school, there was no bully because everyone bullied each other. So it was just all the bullies having at it, Licks. It was a bully free-for-all. Ty says, I remember in elementary school we had a fight club where no teachers could see and we were just fighting. There was never bad blood. I tell you, Ty, we're talking about the bullies and stuff like that, but a lot of the fights back in my day as well that you got into, whether it's kids or young adults, usually it was just, because I was in gym my whole life. And back then, at least, usually a gym fight was just a flare-up. A couple guys got mad about something, boom, boom, you jack it, and then it'd be forgotten about. Then the next day or even later that same day, you'd be working out together again. Just, rarely was it with ill intention. It seems like everybody, in general, takes things much more seriously now than back then. We could see through the fact, if somebody was thinking somebody else's girlfriend or something, now that was different. But most of the fights were just flare-ups, argument over this, argument over that. You'd take a couple swings at each other, and it'd be over. Philip says, only thing I regret is not punching that one kid who bullied me in the 5th grade. He was a complete loser who would have broken if he'd been punched in the face. Hindsight being 20/20. Yeah, I know what you mean, Philip. I have a few of them from before I hit my turn there, where I was getting bullied. And I saw one, I'm not going to mention his name because he seems like he's turned out to be a good guy, and I don't want to shit on him. He was one of the ones that, I can tell you the school, I'll tell you that much. It was Dwaynesburg, where I went to elementary school. And this kid used to bully me. He used to bully everybody. It was a big-time bully. And I don't remember what grade we got into. It was 4th or 5th grade when that switch clicked and I decided I wasn't getting bullied anymore, and he caught it. Because he came in one day and he was just used to bullying everybody he wanted. He came in to bully me the one day, bully a couple of us in the hallways, and I just punched him in the face as hard as I fucking could. It was the last time he ever tried to bully me. It was a nice punch, too. CJ says, nowadays in my school, if you fight once, you'll be out for the rest of the year and most of the next. Well, that happened once, CJ. When I first moved to a school in Cobleskill, there was a kid who liked to bully me, and by that time I wasn't taking any shit. So one day I was standing at my locker, and I just closed my locker, and this idiot came in and boom, pushed my head right in the locker. I turned around. When I did, I was swinging as I turned. Perfectly lucky punch because it was blind, because like I said, I had turned and swung, but nailed him. Got him right up here on top of the head, and boom, he went down like a bag of shit. And I went to jump on him, but teachers were right there and grabbed us, pulled us off, and I got suspended. And so I got sent home, and I told my dad what happened, and I never lied about that shit. I'd tell you if I was wrong or whatever, and my dad believed me when I told him the truth. So to come back to school, we had to go have a meeting with the assistant principal. So we go in, and the assistant principal says we have a zero tolerance policy for violence. He's got to understand that, this can't happen and we need an apology. And my dad even said, he says, wait a second. He says, from what my son told me, unless you've heard different, the kid pushed his head into a locker and he punched him for it. He said, he's not going to apologize for that. And the vice principal says, well, the circumstances don't matter. Zero tolerance for violence. My dad goes, that's fucking stupid. And my dad never swore. He said, that's ridiculous. He said, if somebody pushes my kid's head into a locker, he's going to punch him. I said, I hope he's going to punch him again. He said, so if you can't live with that, then I guess my kid doesn't go to school here. And he goes, come on. And we went out and we got in the car. And we weren't home for more than half an hour, and the phone rang, and the vice principal's secretary said he can come back to school on Monday. Oh, John, here he is showing full design teaser we're now withstanding. It's almost all on there now. This is the villains. My Hero Academia villains. This is one of my favorites. I like this shirt. Of course, anything with Toga on it. I love Toga. That's one of the only anime where my favorite character is a definite villain. Exactly, Josh. That's my dad said the same thing. Circumstances don't matter. The hell it doesn't. Yeah. My dad may not have had right mind as far as I'm concerned on a lot of things, but he was right about that. And that's exactly what he told me. He said, no, my kid's not going to get his head pushed into a locker. He's not going to get hit and not hit back. If that's your rules, he won't go to school here. And we left. Rob says, seeing your shirt reminded me about when reactions start for season 5. I'm still newer to the Goose Show. I might have missed it. Sorry in advance. Oh, you don't have to apologize, Rob. Anything that we've been watching at the Goosh will always continue as long as we all like it, which obviously My Hero we love. So I can't give you an exact date other than to tell you it will definitely be coming up. And what I do is no matter what level the series was at initially, because a lot of those are at the $5 level, subsequent seasons I usually put at the $1 level. So as soon as I get a break in there, yeah, it'll be coming up. I can't give you an actual date, but it will be there. Most definitely. Just like Attack on Titan's a good example. You see, we just came through that, and it just took us a little while to get to it, but yeah, we'll always complete them. Chrome says circumstances don't matter until it's inconvenient for them. Yeah, correct, Chrome. That was to this day, still one of the dumbest things I ever heard. No, and that's my dad actually said, what was my kid supposed to do? He said, you're supposed to call a teacher. Says, how many times is his head supposed to get smashed in the locker until the teacher gets there? I mean, it was just asinine. Johnny says, my school didn't like me because I'd be quick to fight at the slightest provocation. Yeah, me too. I never got in trouble in school for anything but fighting. And well, I still had the same attitude. And I always thought I was funny. Some of the teachers did not. And I wasn't a bad kid about it. I wasn't mean. I wasn't being, I wouldn't go after the teachers or anything or be a dick to them. It's just, if something was going to be funny, I was going to say it. If it was inappropriate, I was still going to say it. So I would get in trouble for that sometimes. But as long as it got laughs, I didn't care. Mason says, I slammed another kid's head into a brick wall from punching me. It was on the last day of school, too. I ran outside, got my mom's car. He was ticked off. Nice. Made the getaway. Dasbrook says, did Brax ever get into fights? No, thankfully. I am so thankful that he definitely got his mom's demeanor, which is the best thing that could ever happen, because she's as chill and cool person as you'll see. And the last thing in the world I wanted him was to be like this. Nope. He never. Rax is just. He's the. If you're his friend, he's the best type of friend you could ever have. Just a very chill person who enjoys getting along and enjoys life. Barry says, when my uncle was in 9th grade, he got into a big fight with 2 kids because he brought a Playboy and they kept trying to take it. He beat them up for their Playboy? Yeah, he should beat them up. Got a 2-month suspension for the Playboy and beat downs. Oh, that's true. You got 2 things going there, but yeah. Somebody's trying to take your Playboy, yeah. Because you got to remember, guys, back in the day, that was porn. And if somebody tries to take, yeah, you got to beat them for that. Mackenzie says, hey, Curtis and Brain, where's my money? Okay, Stewie, I will give you it tomorrow. Okay. Oh, that's one of my all-time favorite scenes in anything. Where's my money, man? Where's my money? Clean yourself up. Yeah. Chrome says, funnily enough, we're probably going to have to start thinking about what we're going to do when we're caught up with One Piece. 3 to 4 months till we're at the current arc, sooner than you think. Oh, no, I know, Chrome. It's amazing. I think what we'll do, Chrome, is similar to what we're doing with the others. If we catch up, we'll put it on pause. We'll try and find an episode that's as good a pause as possible. Let them get done, and then we'll come back to it. Plus, by then, we'll have been doing it for several years. So I think everybody will enjoy a little break, and then we'll definitely go back and finish it. Oh, me too, Johnny. Friends and family are everything to me. Yeah, my family, you guys, this is it. Well, you guys even saw it yesterday in the streams, and I try not to let it get too much of me. We had someone new come into the stream, was it yesterday or the day before? And I caught part of the conversation, and I thought they were being rude or douchey to Big Green, to any one of our mods or any one of my regulars here. And that ticks me off way more and way quicker than anybody says. I don't care if people say rude shit to me. I'll say rude shit back. So what? But anybody coming at you guys infuriates me. I mean, to where I start to feel those veins stick out and everything. Lute says, I'm assuming we'll just pause after we finish each arc, wait till the next one finishes, and continue on with that one until it's done. Yeah, probably, Lute. Yeah. Yep, I would say so. Oh, good. Chrome says, fair enough. Without spoiling, the current One Piece arc is broken up into labeled acts, so just stop at the end of an act. Perfect. That would be perfect. Yeah, I think that works well. I don't think it works as well for reactions when you're doing them once a week. I think that, and something like that, especially because One Piece will have 900 and some odd episodes in the tank by then. To go to once a week, I would rather take the extended break and then watch them consecutively. Philip says, Playboy ain't what it used to be. So I hear. Hefner's daughter made sure that the only thing you can read it for is the articles, which, let's face it, aren't what people read Playboy for, right? I've heard that, Philip. Of course, with the advent of the internet, Playboy dropped by the wayside for me anyway. But yeah, I've heard that it's not worth it anymore. Arthurian King says, Curtis, I love your channel. It's pure comedy gold. Question, who would... Oh, I'm sorry, it just dropped down. Who would win in your opinion, Goku versus Saitama? I always tell everybody, I'm a bad one to ask about that only because I love anime, don't get me wrong. But there are people that understand way more the nuts and bolts of power scaling than do I. And for me, it's impossible to say because I didn't see season 2 yet of One Punch Man. I would have watched it by now, but I got to admit, everybody's reaction to it kind of put it further down my list of things to do because everybody seemed underwhelmed. But what I know of One Punch Man is season 1. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. And given that, we don't know what his limits are, and we don't have any idea what his limits are. And with Goku, we do, and his limits aren't much. But we've seen people have him dead, literally, where he had to be revived. So, to me, you can't really make a call on that one. Because you just don't know, I don't know anyway, what you could do to Saitama. Novatatsu says, I recommend the anime Arafureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest if you want anything new to watch. It's a very cool anime I think you're going to enjoy very much. I don't think I've ever heard of that one, Nova. And that's unusual just because we talk about I should say unusual, so much anime out there, but I don't think I've ever heard of that. What we do is, over at the Goosh, the gang votes on what we watch. So that's how we get the titles we watch on 2 of the levels, because we do 3 a day. And then at the $1 level, I pick them, but what I try and do there is I pick ones that the gang has talked about a lot, but hasn't been quite popular enough to win a poll. Or, as I mentioned earlier, happens to be the continuation of a series we're already doing. But I don't think that's Arafuraja. I'm sure Chrome's here. Chrome knows anime and manga like amazing. But no, I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Rob says, like with Clannad, will you be on board with doing the sequel to Inuyasha? Yeah, what I do with that, Rob, similar to Clannad, what I did there is I asked you guys, because I wasn't going to do the sequel to Clannad, because my understanding was it was a whole separate story. But fortunately, I have you guys there, because when I said that in the comments, everyone was like, no, Curtis, that's not the case at all. It's a direct continuation, and that's why we went on with it. So, if Inuyasha gets put in as a daily, and that's the case, yeah, then we'd probably keep going with it. But I typically leave that up to you guys. Jared says, Curtis, would you ever consider finishing your Walking Dead playthrough? It was one of your most viewed gaming series besides Minecraft. Love your videos. Thank you. The first one I did. The second one I didn't finish. But the first one is... Yeah, I'm sure I did. I finished the first one. Now, unless you're talking about the second one, I don't know if I'll get back to it. Only because I've gotten so wrapped up now in other things. I freaking love this Resident Evil Village. That's a fucking blast. We had a good time with that yesterday. I'm not sure, Jared, but if it's the first one, make sure. Again, it's been so long I couldn't tell you how to find it. But if you're not finding it all, it's out there. I did play all of the first one. I might have switched that one. I'm not sure, between here and the gaming channel, maybe. But I definitely played through that whole first one. If you watch, and again, I'm just guessing because I can't remember. If you're watching it here and it ended, check the gaming channel, because Spaz Boys Gaming. You can just search, it'll come up. Because it probably means I finished it there, because I'm sure I finished it. Cold Cut says, let me tell you, there's a lot of tits in the final arc of Bleach. Oh, I like that tits. Familiar ones and brand new ones. Hoping it gets animated. So nice. Yeah, and fucking Bleach knows a thing or two about titties, too. Yes, direct continuation. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, then we probably would, Rob. That's why I always turn to you guys when something like that comes up. Because, again, you guys saved me on Clannad, because I wasn't going to watch the second season. And, again, it was just because I misunderstood. I thought it was just, they were like, oh, that did well. Let's make something else. And it wasn't. It was a direct continuation. And After Story was so good. Mr. Croissant says, I was bullied in middle school by this guy who would go extreme. I can't swim well, and he pushed me into the deep end during gym class. The coach didn't see it happening, quote, so nothing happened to him. Yeah, that goes on too much with bullies, too. Jesus Christ. All right, guys, well, I got to go. I still got a bunch of stuff I got to set up. I just noticed that this computer still has the power saving to where it goes off after a certain amount of time of inactivity. We can't have that for the 24-hour stream. Guys, thank you so much for all the help with the setup here. We've got pretty much everything, I think, in place. I'm going to have to put that air conditioner in the window probably. But other than that, and making this change on the computer, I think we're pretty well set. I'm going to try and stream tomorrow. That'll obviously be the last one before we start the stream on Tuesday. Yeah, I should be able to. I should be able to tomorrow. But again, thank you for all the support. And again, the big thing is, with the stream on Tuesday night, if you would, just spread the word all you can. Spread the word about the stream or the GoFundMe or both. Or just send them to the stream and we'll send them to the GoFundMe from there. But I appreciate it. The more people we get in there, the more likely YouTube is to recommend the stream. So that's how you get the domino thing working. But guys, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for the conversation. This was a really, really fun conversation. And I'm glad everything looks good. I'm going to get another set of lights here, make that change on the laptop, and we should be good to go. Thank you, guys. I'll hopefully talk to you tomorrow. And if not, I'll see you Tuesday night. Or Tuesday evening and Tuesday night, and then Wednesday early morning, and then Wednesday noon time, Wednesday afternoon, and Wednesday early evening. All at once. This is going to be bad.